so today's going to be a little bit different. It's still going to be our low impact mat class, but today we're going to be incorporating in the foam roller as well as some weights. So as far as weights go, choose whatever you want, something like light to medium. I would say no heavier than like 15 pounds if you're choosing to use them. We're going to be doing an arm section on the foam roller with weights. So the intention behind today is to still get you a full body workout, but to also show you some different ways that you can use a foam roller besides just like the traditional rolling. So as always, take breaks as you need to, and be sure to reach out to me on Instagram at Lisa Pranzo if you have any questions about anything we are doing today. So I want you to start by joining me, laying down on your back, on your mat. Bend your knees, place your feet flat onto the ground below you, and we're gonna start with that diaphragmatic breath. So hands are gonna come around your ribs. You're gonna take that big breath in, filling up your lungs all the way around your body, and then that big breath out. Bringing your ribs closer together. Do it again. Big inhale. Big exhale. Close your eyes if you want. One more big inhale. And exhale out everything. We're going to go into those pelvic tilts. You're going to push your hips away from you, and then you're going to pull your hips back in towards you, opening up through the low back a little bit. You're also figuring out where your neutral and your imprint are today, because it does differ day to day, even if it's a little bit, depending on how we slept, how our low back feels, all that kind of stuff. Make sure you're breathing. It also gives you that deeper connection to your core, which is pretty important. Go ahead and find neutral, and then tilt your hips from side to side. Minimal movement through the knees on this one. It should look like you're not really doing anything. Again, this is one of my favorite ways to just kind of like start moving, because it is on the gentler side. Go ahead and find center, find your pelvic locks, push your hips away from you, pull them over to your right, in towards your face, push them over to the left, and then reverse directions. So it is kind of gentler, which is nice. It also gives your mind, a chance to connect with your body and clue into the fact that you are moving. So go ahead and rock out, find your neutral, hands come behind your ears, elbows out wide, crunch up, and then lower down. So a quick little ab series to start. 5 movements, we're gonna go through them all once before we move on. Now when you crunch up, you're going right armpit, left thigh, movement 2. Make sure you are staying neutral, there's no movement in that low back at all. Finding that rotation from the rib up over to the hip. 2 more. On this next one, lay your head, neck, and shoulders down. Take your legs into tabletop and find your single leg toe tap. Hinge from your right hip, drop your foot, lift up. Do the same thing on the other side. Now, your foot does not have to touch the mat. You are imprinted right now. That is the part of this that matters the most. So if that doesn't, happen when the leg drops, just don't drop the leg that low. Couple more. This is exercise 3. We got 2 more, guys. Draw your legs into tabletop. Take your hands, place them to the front of your thighs. High five your thighs. Push your hands into your legs. Push your legs back into your hands. Breathe and hold it. You're here for 5. 4. You can take your head up if you would like. 3. We're going into an alternating dead bug in 2. Keep the legs in tabletop. Take your arms up above your chest. Right arm, left leg. Stretch them out long. Come into center, switch, do the same thing on the other side. Good, keep going with this. Head up or down, that's up to you as long as the spine is imprinted. We are good to go. 3 here. 2 more. Awesome, go ahead and come into center. Grab your knees in towards your chest, rock and roll all the way up. Okay, we are gonna continue with abs, but we're going to continue with the foam roller. So you do need the longer foam roller for this in order to make this work. So if you don't have the longer foam roller, no worries, just do this on the ground. It'll be a little less challenging, but that's okay. Lay your foam roller long ways, sit down on your foam roller, and then scoot forward so you're on the edge of it, and then lay all the way down onto your back. So you should be supported all the way from the back of your head through your tailbone. Already you should feel like, oh, this is kind of unstable. Push your hands down into the mat. Now, I am not going to turn to look you in this series because of balance. You can take your head up or down, whatever works for you. Lift your legs into tabletop. Now go back into that single leg toe tap. You might find your range of motion is a little smaller. It's okay if it is. Use your hands to push into your mat to help stabilize you. When those triceps fire, your lats and your abs work harder, which is awesome. Make sure you are imprinted on that roller. Last one, legs into tabletop. Now double leg toe tap, both toes down. Woo, a little spicier, both legs up. Now, you're working with a bigger lever here, so if your legs don't go down as low, that is okay. Please keep that in mind as you are moving through this. Find your breath, 2 more. Squeeze your butt to help support that imprint. Last one, legs into tabletop, straight legs up to the sky. Woohoo, drop one leg. Lift it, drop your other leg. Good, lift it, keep going. So, nice, easy. I'm serious, there's no easier way to do this than this. You just gotta be comfortable with being uncomfortable on top of this roller. It is not a good time. Ooh, push your hands down into your mat. Take both legs up, drop both straight legs down 4 or 5 inches, and then lift them back up. Yes, keep going here, squeeze your butt. Don't worry about the size of the drop. See if you can get your abs to control the movement more than your hip flexors and your quads. Head up or down. 2 more. Awesome, last one, bend your knees. Woo. Plant your feet down onto the mat below you. Take your arms up to the sky. Palms are gonna face each other, arms stay straight, let your shoulder blades wrap around the roller. Start opening up through your chest and then push them up to the sky. Protracting and retracting your shoulder blades around the roller. So here's the thing. We're gonna do a little bit of shoulder stretch and activation, and then we're gonna use our weights. Here's the thing with foam rolling. You never wanna roll skeletal muscle systems or tendons. So your spine directly is a bad idea. Go ahead and come on up. We're gonna draw circles. Take your arms back and overhead. Open them out, circle them down and around. Ooh. Go back up to the sky, do it again. Make sure your ribs are not popping off the roller. So you never wanna roll, I have to push my weights out of the way. Your skeletal muscle system, so your spine, and you'll see that a lot with foam rolling stuff. It is not good for those bones. Go ahead and reverse on this next one. So if you have a tight back, you gotta figure out how to roll out the muscles surrounding the spine to get that skeletal muscle structure to feel like it's a little bit more mobile and flexible. The same thing goes with your IT bands. They're tendons. They will not stretch. Take your arms up to the sky, turn your palms to face each other, keep your arms straight, open your arms out wide. Your IT bands will not stretch. Usually, and I know that we see foam rolling IT bands like everywhere. All it's gonna do is hurt you more. It's just gonna suck, guys. Please don't do it. Usually if that hip insertion point or like your IT bands feel tight, maybe you're a runner, you're a cyclist, it usually means that a quad or a hamstring that is close to that IT band is tight and needs a little bit of love. So I would encourage rolling out the rest of your leg. All right, go ahead and come on up very carefully. Hopefully those weights are handy. Go ahead and grab your weights. Each hand will get a weight. Take your arms up to the sky, palms face away from you. Feet are the same, go into your bench press. So what you're gonna find with this chest expansion is that your elbows can go down a little bit lower because you're on top of the roller. You need to make sure that your abs are still drawn in and you are still neutral. So ideally, the roller doesn't move, which means you're working hard to create symmetry in the body by having both arms move at the same rate and speed. Hold those arms down. Little pulses, up and down, just an inch. Pull your abs in. Make sure you're not using your shrug muscles. Push your arms all the way up to the sky. Palms are gonna face each other. Bend your elbows towards your temples, those knuckles. Hold it for me here in the skull crusher. Just breathe and hold it. Oh, this is the worst. All right, little pulses through that skull crusher. Make sure that your wrists are flat, your abs are drawn in nice and tight. Find that breath. Make the pulse a little bigger. You should want to go full range of motion so bad right now. I know I do. Get your shoulders down. Now go full range of motion. All the way up, all the way back. That was spicy. Man. 2 more. Take those arms all the way up. Palms stay facing each other. Open your arms out into your chest fly. And then alternate your arms. Right arm up. Abs draw in. Open it. Left arm up. So whenever your arms are moving sideways of you, it is naturally harder on your core. So that neutral is firing very deeply right now to help support this movement and hopefully the stillness through your body. 1 more, both arms open, little pulses. It doesn't take a lot to feel this. 3 here. 2 here. Full range of motion, chest fly all the way up. Woo! All the way open. You are almost there, I promise. 2 more. Very nice, guys. Last 1. Go ahead and very carefully place your weights off to the side. There is no easy way to do this. Just roll off the side of the roller. Now, what you are going to do is a little bit of hip opening on the roller. So make sure that your weights are all the way out of the way. I'm just going to completely move mine. And then what you're going to do is turn the foam roller sideways and sit behind it. Bring your legs over it. Scoot forward a little bit. Lay down onto your back and lift your butt up. Slide the roller underneath your hips. Now, you should be able to have that roller, it's like right below your upper butt, in a place where you can comfortably lift your legs. Okay, so hands on the ground or the sides of the roller. Take your legs up into the air. Take your legs straight up into the air. Lower both straight legs down. Lift them up. So beginning to open up our hips. You might feel your hips pop a little bit when you do this. I know I sure do. It's okay. Woo! We're tight today. Okay, heels together, toes apart, keep going. So this is an adaptation of an exercise that we do on a Pilates apparatus called the Reformer. It's called feet and straps. Most people really like it. Most people don't realize it's designed to be hard and a warm-up. Hold those legs down. Keep that external rotation, bend your knees in. Press your legs out. The idea is that you want to get that femur mobile in the hip socket, deepening that neutral and the attention in your core so that you can make the disassociation of your legs when your legs move independently of the rest of you a lot stronger. Push all the way out. Draw your feet to parallel, go into your circles. Ooh-wee. It doesn't matter how big or small the circle is, guys. The rotation is the same regardless, so don't worry about that. 1 more this way. And then we're going to reverse. Everything is cracking. Ow. Oh, holy moly. I had some tight hips today, guys. 1 more. Okay, take your legs up, bend both knees in. So you're gonna hook your right arm behind your right leg and let your left leg go nice and straight. Don't take the foot all the way down to the ground, that arches your back. Focus more on that scoop and tuck through your pelvis and that pull in. So you're opening up now the front side of your hip. It's gonna feel like a tugging sensation more than really anything else. It's kind of weird, but you'll know when you find it because it's kind of weird. You can technically lift your head up with this one. I don't prefer that, so you're not going to see me do that, but if that feels good for you, by all means, go ahead and go for it. This one, if you're foam rolling on your own, heads up, because it does take many of us a little bit longer to find. I tend to hold this one for at minimum 1 minute, which is what we're going to do today. But if you have the time, hold it for longer. It's great. Go ahead and come on in. Whoop. Switch and go to the other side. So hook your left arm behind your left leg, straighten out that right leg. Holy moly, and hold it. So remember, we're not trying to get the foot to touch the ground. Think about lengthening the femur away from the hip socket to help open up the front side of that hip. You are still neutral, your abs are still drawn in. Whew, I love hate this one. There's no easy way to put it besides that. But again, tight hips, tight low back, we don't want any of that. Nobody has time for that. So even easy things like this that you can do every day, especially if you like sit at a desk or have a long commute to and from work, are really, really great to help keep those hips flexible and open so that you can avoid some of that pain. A few more seconds here. All right, bend both knees in, plank your feet down, lift your butt up, push the roller out of the way, and sit all the way up. So now what we're gonna do is sit on top of the roller. Hands are gonna go behind you. You're gonna take that left ankle onto your right thigh. You're gonna turn over to the left and you're gonna roll out that left butt cheek. Spicy. Get the whole butt cheek too. My clients laugh at me when I say that, but we tend to get stuck in like one spot. Don't get stuck in the one spot. Don't do it. Get the whole thing. Your glute medius and piriformis are kind of out of your natural range with this. Make sure that you're getting them. It will help. Oh, goodness gracious. I'm trying to see how much time we have and my Apple Watch won't light up. That's so annoying. Keep going, guys. I want to see how much time we have left on this side. Oh, cool. All right, go ahead and come on up. Plant the left foot down. All right, same thing, other side. So right ankle, left thigh, turn to the right, and roll out that right butt cheek. It doesn't matter what you do, by the way, with this non-working side hand. Kind of take it wherever it feels natural to you. Make sure that you're getting that whole back side of your hip and your glutes. Holy moly. Alrighty, go ahead and come out of that. Plant both feet down. Okay, we're gonna sit behind the foam roller. Now you're gonna roll out your hamstrings real quick. So take your hands behind you. Back of your legs are on that foam roller, and all you're gonna do is roll front to back. You should be very, very familiar with this, but we're gonna add in a little bit of rotation. So as you push down, bring your big toes in. As you push out, up, pinky toes drop down. So rotating your hamstrings around that foam roller. If you find a tight spot, hold it there and rotate your legs side to side, and then roll front to back again. Ooh, man. Quick little roll today, quick little session today. All right, go ahead and bring it in. We are going to roll out our calves. So all you're gonna do is move that roller down a little bit below your calf muscles, and it's gonna be the same. So as you are rolling the calf muscles, I don't care what side you start with, when you push, you're gonna bring your big toes in, and when you pull, you're gonna bring your big toes out. So the intention behind finding this kind of rotation is to get more muscle rolling. And just like on the quads, or the hamstrings, my bad. If you find that tight, I was like, what did I just say? If you find that tight spot, hold it there. Rotate your leg from side to side like a windshield wiper, and then roll front to back and get that fascia to release a little bit more. It's not gonna be fun. Ooh, but here's the thing, if you have tight calf muscles, you probably have a tight low back, and we want to try to alleviate that as much as possible. The other thing is, from a biomechanical standpoint, when you have things like tight quads, which we will roll in a minute, it will pull up on your kneecaps, it will give you knee issues, it will give you hip flexor issues. Like, all of these things are going to hinder your athletic performance and your other workouts that you do. Go ahead and come on in. Okay, we're gonna roll out our quad muscles. So you are gonna turn to face the roller. You're gonna bring the roller right below your quads, lay down, and then roll front to back. So you're gonna have to move your elbows with this one probably to be able to get the whole calf muscle. Make sure you're pushing away from the ground and not sinking. And then when you find those tight spots, again, rotate the muscle around it. Make sure that you are not rolling your kneecap, and you're also not rolling that bony hip, okay? That ASIS on the front side of your body, we want to try to avoid that. Again, rolling skeletal systems doesn't help. Ooh, crunchy. There's always one spot that is a little bit crunchy, and that's okay. Holy moly. If you're a runner, if you're a cyclist, anything that involves forward motion, you probably, even walking, you probably have tight quads, and this every day is not enough. You know what I mean? Like, the more you can do this, the better it is for you. All right, go ahead and come on in. Go ahead and take that roller. We're gonna place it off to the side. You're going to sit on down. Draw the soles of your feet together, knees out wide. Last couple stretches here. Sit up nice and tall, and with a flat back stretch forward over your thighs. So when you set up for this, a lot of people will grab for their toes and pull them in towards their face. What you're doing is causing a sickling motion through the inner thighs. You're not getting the kind of hip opening that you want. So take your hands, grab for your ankles instead, push into your knees, and with the flat back, drop down. Now, this is gonna move the exercise and stretch more into your hips. If the hips are super tight, I get it. Walk your feet away from you a little bit, separate your feet, and then hinge forward. And this will give that same motion of opening and will move in the same way, but it's gonna feel a little bit more comfortable. Take some deep breaths, make sure your back is flat. We're not gonna round today on this one. And then you're gonna sit up nice and tall. You're gonna straighten your legs out in front of you. Move your butt cheeks out of the way. One last stretch with the flat back, fold forward. For this, you have a lot of options. So you can grab for your feet, push into your big toes gently, and pull your pinky toes towards you. You can also reach underneath your hamstrings, grab for your inner thighs, pull them apart, and then stretch forward. And the one I prefer the most is to take my hands to the outsides of my calves and gently push my calves in as I stretch forward. So the goal with all of this, when we forward fold, our inner thighs tend to rotate in more, just like on that stretch before, they sickle in more, and it's taking the stretch out of the hamstrings. So the more you can get the inner thighs back to their proper place, the more you're gonna feel the stretch in your hamstrings, and the better it's gonna feel for your low back as a result. So try one of those, see which one you like the most. Keep your back flat, knees soft if you need to, and just relax as much as you can into this forward fold. And know that even if you're up here, it still counts. A few more seconds here, guys. I'm timing this, don't worry. That's why I'm looking at my watch. All right, go ahead and come on up. Great work today. Thanks for trying something new with me with that foam roller. Remember, if you have any questions about anything that we did, be sure to reach out to me at Lisa Pronzo on Instagram is the easiest way to do that. And I can't wait to see you back on your mat soon. Have a good day.